go in. My pants poster said, we going ultra. Yeah, we going ultra black. I got a toast to that. Fold the crack.
All right. So to kick off the first official video, we will be interviewing my good friend, Sylvester, and we're going to discuss his amazing success within the engineering space. So Philip, my man, it's always an honor to speak with you. So before we get started, what I put together for you is an intro for how awesome you are, my friend. So for everyone who don't know, this man was a small town country boy, fast as lightning, track star, Mr. All Big Ben, former FAMU rattler, running back, and stat killer, and later transitioning and making his way into the league to get to play for the Atlanta Falcons. And even in his academics, this guy was the cream of the crop, excelling in his education and becoming a successful engineer, a family man. So we have here Sylvester.
Oh, thank you, Clarence. You far too kind, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hey, look, I'm thankful to be able to, chat with you and just to catch up with you and everything. So, I know I gave you that brief intro. So is there anything else that I left off that I should add?
I think you got it.
Awesome. So Philip, for kids or people that are interested in becoming an engineer, what advice could you give them, or, a peek in your world? What would it take to be a great engineer, and what does a typical day look like for you?
Well, my advice, for the most part, to do something that you like, something that you enjoy. I always like math, especially math and science. Dealing with numbers, you look back at it, Clarence, you look at how we were educated in Jackson County. We had a pretty good education. I was talking with my daddy. A lot of times when you look at the health or the state of an infrastructure or a system, you look at how they keeping up their facilities, how they maintain their equipment. If you look at Jackson County, since we've left, you got new schools popping up everywhere. The buses are in good condition. They have air. When we were coming up, they didn't have air. They were transitioning the air. So when you look at that, just from that part, they doing good. Because if you just take Sears and Kmart, look at the building, look at the business, look what happened. Yeah. So then we get to the teachers. We had teachers that really poured in us and cared about us and took out a lot of time to really develop people. Even sometimes when we gave them a hard time. But, that's all part of it. So it was just good to grow up where we grew up, and we had our challenges and things we had to work around. But when you look back at it, those people had our best interests in mind, and they did what they thought was best. But on another note, like we were saying, we were talking earlier, it's your ages, 12 to 21, 24. That's an important stage in your life. It's a lot of distractions, especially for kids now. You got cell phones. We just had video games and cable, that kind of thing that distracts. Now we got cell phones and social media, and all kinds of things staying. So you really just dig in and focus for those 10 years. It really can springboard you for the rest of your life. And the possibilities are endless, because life is, the world is so complex. It's billions of people. So it's anything you can do. You can make a living doing anything. It's once you get into things.
And that's what I was going to say. That's important in terms of, bridging the gap between kids and adults and learning about engineering, different things like that. Because, typically, when we were younger and stuff like that, we used to always be like, well, I don't know if this math is going to translate, into, I'm not going to get a job doing algebra and different things like that. But, being that you're an engineer, can you tell me something about the types of math, the different things that you use in terms of your career and stuff like that? and how your education in high school kind of translated into what you're doing now.
Yeah, so basically what I do now, I'm more of on the operations management type of just applying the principles in the field and actual building and maintaining the project and process, more like construction management. But you look at it from a arithmetic to algebra, trigonometry, geometry, calculus, and differential equations, things that I took in college.
Yeah.
Well, just like somebody that like to play video games. So
yeah,
you like to play video games, why don't you learn to be a video game developer or a computer engineer or software engineer? And then other things, like growing up, I like machines and being outside. So that's one of the main reasons why I chose civil engineering. Even if you like forming, be involved in forming, you don't actually have to be a former. You might work for Monsanto and develop a seed that's gonna grow in a 90-degree climate with this much precipitation and this much daylight. So things get real complex, and there's so many things you can do. If you like cars, you got Tesla, self-driving, whether they use, I don't know what they use, but I know some self-driving cars use LiDAR, a radar system, so things are really complex, for the most part. Most people don't really get into complexity of things like that, but the world is it's endless, cell phone and cell phone towers and radio waves, getting into physics and just how everything works. So engineering is really broad. Like the part that I work in, we mainly deal with wood, steel, concrete, water, soil, those kind of things, but anything you can think of.
Yeah. And I was gonna say too, it's kind of crazy because even though you are in an engineering type space, it kind of piggyback to a lot of creativity as well. If you think about being a kid and you think about art and drawing, different things like that, some of those type of skills can translate into your area as well as too. Would you agree?
Yeah, respect. You get into architecture. That's engineering and architecture. They go hand in hand, especially building buildings and getting the layout for it. The architect basically get the layout and the conceptual, and then you get a structural engineer to come in there and design how the building, this structure is a bigger building, and it's just all, might have a mechanical engineer coming in and design the fire system, electrical, mechanical will be designing the HVAC system. So it kind of really get complex, but there's so many things you can do, even if you don't want to do, the engineering aspect of it. Like I was telling you earlier, Clarence, in our other previous conversation, hindsight 2020, but I'm like an economics guy. I like to read about that kind of stuff, how money is made and saved and kept. And that's another thing dealing with math, and it get a whole lot more complex to just doing 20 plus 20 equals $40, when you start thinking about how financial markets and the capital markets are set up.
Yeah. Hey, look, you're absolutely right. And so, I did find this little tidbit about you. So Philip was selected as a RTNS top 10 under 40 railway engineer in the MOW sector. And Philip, when you received this information, how did that make you feel personally?
Well, I've been working for the railroad for 9 years. As soon as I got out of college, it's fulfilling to know that besides getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, that your hard work is not going unnoticed, because we talked about before, the railroad is 24/7, transporting goods all the time, whether it's from TVs in a intermodal container coming from China, or it's coal going to a coal-fired power plant, or it's lumber leaving a sawmill and heading to New York to build houses. Just make you respect this industry make you respect people that work 24/7, whether it's medical or water or electrical utilities or the cell phone people or even Snapchat. I'm pretty sure somebody working at Snapchat 24/7 just so your app will be up.
And that's insane.
That.
That's insane to like think about. And you know, for some of the younger kids, you know, when he means 24/7, you know, that's meaning like you have a phone next to you, so you're on call, and whenever something needs to be done and getting taken care of, once that phone ring, you got to answer it. So, so you know, the transition as well. You know, you mentioned talking about finance and different things like that. So, I have it here that you know, you serve on the board of directors for the Renaissance Park Youth and Family Center, and this is a nonprofit in Marietta, Florida, for underprivileged kids and families. Philip, can you tell me more about the organization and how, you know, people can contribute and donate to your cause?
Well, Clarence, you know all about Renaissance Park. I'm pretty sure you camped out there. That probably been 15, 20 years ago.
Yes.
But my dad had a vision, and a lot of people in the community helped him over time doing volunteer work, you know, to build a place where underprivileged kids and families could, you know, learn about history, nature, and all be encompassed in one. And for the years, you know, as my father got older and certain people that helped him either passed on or wasn't able to help him, you know, we become more of a historical preservation. We used to do a pig picking, and we still grind cane syrup and do that. And we have some historical relics from years ago that was so crazy, Clarence. 20 years ago when people were donating that stuff, and I was wondering what he's gonna do with this. And it's, you know, just to see things that we've been working on for 20 or 25 years come to fruition, you know, it just really just tell you to stick with it and it'll work out, you know. Because right now, you know, we can go to McDonald's and get a meal in 4 minutes, get on the airplane and fly to Europe in 8 hours, or buy Dodge coin for 5 cents and 41 cents. $1,000, you make 80,000. So now, you know, a lot of people in our generation and younger people think that it happened just like this. But, you know, usually in life, a process of things that you're trying to do take a lot of time, a lot of hard work, and just sticking with it.
Yes. Hey, look, you're absolutely right. And, you know, you just think about, like you said, you know, you seeing this as a kid and not really knowing what was going on and not really seeing the vision. But then later on, you know, being an adult, you'd be like, now I see what dad was doing. And so, you know, it's great that you see that, and it's great that, you know, you're still involved because, you know, sometimes, you know, as you all know that, you know, some people have family businesses that they start and, you know, the kids get older and they be like, well, you know, I don't want to do this. So, you know, I really commend you in the fact that, you know, that you're doing it and, you know, you keeping the cause alive, you keeping the tradition alive. And, you know, not only that, like, that was the first time I ever went camping whenever I went to your thing. So, you know, things like that, you know, for kids that have been in my position and you know, yours as well, you know, not being able to camp for the first time, not knowing what to do at a camp, you know, the different things. And, you know, we did that as like a brotherhood, like, you know, a lot of the our teammates and different things, we got together and, you know, we just had a fun and had a ball. So I really appreciate that experience that I had. And, you know, I also have it here, Philip, that, you know, you and your sister founded a nonprofit organization called the Community Revitalization Group in Marietta, Florida as well. Can you share some information regarding that as well?
Oh, yeah. Well, on the article said me and my sister, but it was also Keem and Alan, Clayton, and Steven.
Okay.
But, you know, when you look around, there's a lot of stuff that need to be done. People always say the government need to do it.
Yeah.
But, you know, in the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, he said, Well, there's people, there's power, and
Yes.
we see this power. You know, when you think about the people in the power, you just see what people did with GameStop. They propped up a stock that really didn't have no value, and Dogecoin, which was, they was laughing at it, but whenever the masses of people were able to get engaged in it,
Yes.
thanks to, what's the name of the app? I think I forgot.
Robinhood.
Robinhood providing a free trading platform.
Yeah.
Which people don't realize how big that is.
Yes.
If you know who Charles Schwab is, Charles Schwab was one of the first brokers that was able to let layman people, regular people like us, access the capital market.
Yeah.
And back then, when he started, each trade, so if you bought a $50 stock, you have to pay $40 for that one trade. So now it's free.
Yes.
So then it morphed into TD Ameritrade and all those others, and Robinhood made it cheap, and with the masses they got behind it. But going back to what we were, is we wanted to do something because the government can't do everything.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Which is not as bad as it used to be, but we wait on the government to do anything. We might be waiting for a while.
Yes.
We're real fortunate in this country to have a government like we do, and resources, and to have opportunities. So we just wanted to do something. So, and basically, we still in the upstart, but it's really a community development group, so it can encompass a lot of things. Whether job, workforce development, housing, or getting into banking, or just doing training for foreman or anything. So we really just do in the conceptual state and trying to put things in place and maybe partner with somebody that's already working in the community, because a lot of times that's all people need. I really don't need my name in the spotlight. If somebody needs my help, I just help them, because somebody got to be that person to help somebody else. They might just need a little help along. So that's just what we wanted to do. We wanted to just do something,
And that's what's very, 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 very important. That's the whole reason why, I started Ultra Black News, is because, I wanted to give our community a voice. I wanted to shed, all positive things. I want to, commemorate the success and all of this stuff that we have that's going on, instead of what we seeing every day on the news or something, bad and different things like that. So, like what you just said now, we have power in the people. And so, my duties is to, to connect with the people, sharing all these good things, so that way we can change the youth and, the people that are behind us. We've been through the struggle, and the people before us been through the struggle, and the people before them been through the struggle. But, being able to, give back and share different ways of where people can be successful, and then also people can also share their success. That's what I wanted to do here. So Philip, I really appreciate you taking the time to interview with me, and I wish nothing but blessings for you. And is there anything else you want to add to everyone, to let them know about you, or anything else?
I don't really have too much, Clarence. I just appreciate you taking that time to do this. That's all I got. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, all thy mind. Lean not into our own understanding, in all our ways. Acknowledge him, and he will direct our path. So that's what I like to take with me. One of my Bible verses that I refer to when I don't know what to do, because that's, if a young person watching this and they don't know what they want to be when they grow up. Clarence, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. It's a work in progress. That's how my life has always been, just doing something, and that don't work out, going to the next thing, and just navigate through. Because, a lot of times somebody might look at me or look at somebody and say, hey, man, they got it all figured out. But life a constant struggle.
But
the key is don't give up.
Yes. And look, you're absolutely right about that. That's the biggest thing. Like, not giving up. And then two, like really working into, because God's gonna reveal, what you want, he's gonna give you, but he's gonna make you work for it. And so anything that you want, it ain't gonna be free, but if you put in that work for it, you'll reap his blessings. I should say it that way. So man, you're absolutely right on that. Well, hey, if that's it, man, I'm going to let you get back to your beautiful family, bro. I appreciate you again, and we're going to link up, all right?
All right. Thank you, Clarence.